Hey folks, this is Nate coming at you on Thursday, September 14th. So tonight I have a new acquisitions update. This is sort of the one I've been waiting for, one of two anyway. So this is from the July RTS sale at Sabertrio. This is their Arclyte Luminara. And I absolutely love the etch work design on this. Sort of a bronze copper with a black mesh grip and some black accents up here up top on the emitter, and a gold power button, silver ox. I've never owned an Arclyte before. So this is the first one. I have the Elemental Spire Vectra, or Vulcan, and then I have the Sojourner's Reach Vectra, which is also on its way to me. So those are sort of my Saber trios at the moment. Then I also have a Senza, a standard brushed silver Senza. So this is my first official arrival of RTS sale for this year from Sabertrio. And I couldn't be happier with it. So this is a Proffie 2.2, and this is their factory install. And now I have changed this config to my own. As most of you know, I like to do my own stuff here, so.
I started hearing whispers of Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire.
Nothing against those of you who like Sabertrio's default factory installs, but I have my whole library of blade styles and sound font pairings that I use, and so on went some of these, and they sound wonderful on this.
The smuggler.
Step aside. It's my turn.
So this is their factory 23mm Vecco, and I have the volume setting on here on my config at about 2,000, I think, right now. So it's about 66% of capacity.
The broken one. The Reaper.
Battery power level. Something's coming. Something dark.
So, so a couple of comments to share about this saber, and especially since this is a new model for me. I've never, as I've mentioned, I've never owned an Arclyte before. I really like the size. The length of this hilt is really amenable to what I use sabers for. So even it's got this sort of nice choke point for the second hand, but the main grip, the saber is definitely balanced enough for a one-handed grip right here in the middle. And this grip section design that they've done is really comfortable. So it's very, very easy to grip. The CoverTech wheel doesn't get in the way, even though it's a little bit high up on this particular model. There's definitely enough grip section in here for, you know, for a comfortable wield. And if I do decide to do a two-hand, I can basically grab it right here with the second hand, no problem. So it's very, very it's a very sporting design, I would say. It's definitely made for playtime. You know, this is not, as much as people might like to say, you know, given the expense of this, you know, being an Arclyte saber and all of that, that they would put this on their list as a shelf queen. I might put this on my list as a shelf queen, but this is also on my list of sabers that I'm going to take out and use a lot. This is a frequent use saber for me. It just happens to look a little bit nicer than some of my other ones. So some pros and cons. Pros, the etching design on these are beautiful. This particular Luminara, I think. The other one I really liked was their Glacial Shard, which I didn't manage to get. That was their, I think that was on their Skylar. But the Glacial Shard design they did was really nice. And then this one also was really nice. So it's definitely a pro. Also, as always, you know, I don't mind their chassis designs. Their chassis designs, in my opinion, are okay. One of the things I don't like, as I've mentioned before, is that you can't pull it all the way out without doing some funky stuff. So, you know, if you happen to own a Sabertrio long enough for the battery to actually die, you've got to do some sort of twisting around and machinations to get the thing to come fully out. I would have rather preferred that they just have the core, just a removable core that just comes in and out instead of being wired at the top of this, to just have like some non-indexed pins set up inside. It seems like that would be an easier thing to do, but I don't know if there's costs involved in why they do it this way over others, or if there's some sort of requirement of uniformity of design that they need to do across all their sabers, where doing a non-indexed, fully removable chassis isn't feasible for some of their other hilts. I don't know. I'm just speculating. So that's sort of a con, is you know, their chassis is nice enough. It's, you know, it's definitely has good fitment. It has, you know, it slides and there's no rattling, no wiggling. It's very nice and snug, and it ketchup boggles out easy enough. So you never really have to worry about it getting like stuck in there. But it would be nice if it was fully removable. Also, I like the amount of space that they leave in here between the speaker section here and the USB port. So it allows for using different types of cord methods to get access to this USB port. Even though they do give you, and actually I should say one of the other pros is that they now ship these sabers with their own specific data cables that you can connect, which are the, I think they're either the right corner or left corner, I forget, but they're sort of angled coming in, so it makes it really easy to connect these sabers to your computer. One other thing is, I'm not a huge fan, as I've mentioned before, of recharge ports. I understand why they put them on these particular ones. But again, if this were a fully removable chassis and you could just remove the battery and charge the battery when you needed to, then you wouldn't really have a need for a recharge port. So, you know, that's sort of like my commentary about that. And that really doesn't, that's not having to do with this saber specifically. This has to do with their install method for all of these sabers, for, you know, all their models, because they use the same chassis design for all of their sabers. One other thing I do like is I like that the threading in here is fairly soft. It's not very hard, so I don't hear a lot of scraping when I'm going in here. So it feels like when they go through the process of you know, doing treatments on these sabers, you know, it sort of feels like they do some nice treatment on the threading on these too, so that they screw and unscrew very nicely without too much squeaking, without too much scraping, which is good because that means less metal particles over time getting into your chassis. So that's good. I absolutely love the neck on this Arclyte. It never occurred to me before, because again, I've only seen pictures, but holding it up close, I wouldn't necessarily define this as a thin neck per se, but I absolutely love the sort of the concave design here right above the switch on the emitter. This is absolutely, aesthetically, it's very pleasing to me. I like the way this bends in right here. So this is the Arclyte, and if any of you haven't had the time to check out Sabertrio's RTS sales, they're starting to do these a little bit more. So it looks like they've changed up their sales pattern, where they used to do these full stock releases every couple of months. I think, I'm just speculating based on how often I visit the site and check out their stock, is that it looks like a lot of their regular stock of sabers don't really sell out now the way that they used to. And I think that's really more of a function of the economy than anything else, because their sabers are still incredibly popular. And so I think what they've switched to is, instead of holding these sort of 3-month to 6-month sales where like they put everything on sale and expect to sell out, now what they're doing is they're sort of just maintaining levels of their regular mirrored silver, brushed silver, of their stunt Neo CFX, Neo Proffie sabers across the board where they can. And then they do these sort of 2 to 3 month RTS releases where they do special powder coating designs and then special acid etching designs. And from what I've been able to hear through the grapevine, the gossip channels, is that they are working on releasing some sort of like masterpiece section for their site at some time down the future, which sounds like you'll then have the option of doing a saber that's both powder coating and acid etched with, you know, maybe some other sort of custom detailing on it that's sort of above and beyond what you would be able to get in an RTS sale. So definitely looking forward to that. And then, as always, you know, Sabertrio's customer service is second to none. Even though I had to wait a little bit of time for this one because I had ordered my Sojourner's Reach on the RTS sale prior to this one, and then I asked them to sort of ship them together in one package to sort of save on shipping costs, which meant, you know, waiting like an additional month longer than I would have. They were still really nice about that, managed to handle that no problem, and still ended up getting me both sabers shipped to me, you know, in a very reasonable amount of time. And so very, very happy with how that all turned out. So thank you all for watching. And again, this is the RTS Arclyte Luminara from their July RTS sale from Sabertrio. All right, y'all. I'll see you on the next video. Take care. May the force be with you.